Hello everyone, my name is Tuvo. I am in the City of Chicago Stat Tracker Group. Today my talk will be on Mockito framework. I chose this topic because I like how Mockito is very clear, readable when it comes to creating mocks, stubs, and verification. Just an overview of what I'll be going over today. I'll begin the talk with the general mocking concept, what is mocking and when you would need a mock. I'll go over some of the Mockito test phases. Then we'll end this with some code example. What is mocking and when will you use it? So in this particular example, we have the order service implementation class that has a method called getOrder, and in this class you have a dependency that is called OrderDeo implementation, which uses a Java persistent API to communicate with a relational database. Now, for this example, suppose you want to test the getOrder method, and suppose that we don't have the database subsystem in place, and also the OrderDeo implementation class has yet to be realized. How would you go about testing the method within the order service implementation class to see if the method behaved correctly? Now, well, this is where Mockito come in handy, in that Mockito allow you to create a mock object, a fake object if you will, that you can use to test against the method to see if the methods indeed interact correctly without the need of any of these dependencies. So Mockito is broken up into three different phases, and they are setup, execution, and verification. And I will talk more about this in the next couple of slides. So during setup, you would use the Mockito mock method to create a mock dependency. So as seen here, you would just pass in the class you want to mock, and then from there you would use the Mockito API to declare how the mock operation behave when it is invoked. This is called method stubbing. It uses the when and then pattern. In this particular case, it's calling the mock list get method with a 0 parameter, and it's returning phase. So what this is doing is that you're configuring your own mock object, and you're telling it that when it's called or when it's being invoked that you want it to return first. This execution phase, you really don't have to do anything. It's basically you're passing in the mock object, and that is being executed within the test method call. So during verification, you use the verify method to assert that a particular method were called within the match set of inputs. So in this particular example, you want to verify that mockList.get method with the 0 parameter was actually being called. Okay, here we have a real example that I took from one of our unit tests. And if you look in the setup method, you'll see that we're creating a new object that we want to test, and in this object we're taking in a mock object. And in the test method, you'll see that we're creating a dummy data. We then use the when and then pattern so that when the mock method is invoked, it returns a dummy data we created earlier. Next, we're executing the method we want to test, which then makes a call to the mock object we passed in earlier. In verification, we use the Mockito verify method to check if the input we passed in earlier was indeed actually invoked. And that's it. So what you just saw is the Mockito in its simplest form. Obviously, you can get more complex than this, and there's a wide range of Mockito method that you can use for testing. So in summary, some benefit to using Mockito is that you don't have to deal with a subsystem like a live database, or in a case where what you're trying to test relies heavily on other dependencies. And really, Mockito gives you a full control of the method you want to test without any interference with issues unrelated to the method you are testing. And that is all I have. Thank you.